Hey folks, welcome back to the shop. Today we're going to talk about the first replaceable blade broadhead on the market to the public. This is the Wasp Cam-Lok. And I'd say anybody, well, I don't even know what the minimum age or maximum age would be, but there's so many of these heads around that probably everybody has seen one. I've got a few different variants here to go over with you folks. This thing was invented in the early 70s, I think 72, 73, by a gentleman in Connecticut, and he took basically a traditional broadhead and machined it and attached these little blades right here. Now, this is not one of the original ferrules, but it is the original blades, and these are actually Schick razor blades. Okay, they're 0.010 thick, but this is kind of what it would look like. They were green, I think, the old original ones, but you can see how they're locked in there. Actually, this is a tube of the replacement blades. Get these out here. You can see what they've done is they took a Schick razor blade and they had some kind of device that cut it. So you had one hole over here. Of course, it would have had another one over here. Now, this fit into the ferrule, and he had a pretty ingenious way of locking these into the ferrule so they wouldn't come out. All right, so that's kind of the old original. Then I think around 86, this is the Series 2, okay? 1 1/16 inch cut is what these things were rated at. Of course, carbon blades, but they also had stainless blades. And they had 3-blade version, 4-blade version, and you know, back in the day, this was, you know, obviously before carbon, BC as some people will call it. Let's get the scale turned on. So the 3-blade is running in, it's listed at 130 and it's at 129.8. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see that, but it's there. And the 4 blades are listed at 140. And that one's showing up at 138.1. So pretty daggone close. And you know, the thing is, that's a pretty substantial head. I don't even know commercially replaceable blade heads that are even offered today, you know, above probably 125. There may be somebody, but a good bit of weight to these heads. I want to kind of show you how these things go together, and I've got one right here. This is the cool little deal about this. I don't know if you can see this. So you've got the slice here for the blade, and then you got these rings. So what you do, and I'll use some of these old used carbon blades, but anyway, you slide this thing in here until you get about right there, right? You can't go all the way up. And then you rotate the cam, as they would call it. And then you grab another blade. You slide it in here. And you know, I don't know if you watched the video on the satellite broadheads, but again, these jokers, if you didn't know exactly what you were doing, or if you weren't paying attention, you would fillet your finger on these things. Very, very sharp, especially the carbon blades. The blades are 0.0150 inches thick. So now we've got the cam in. Now here's the deal. You want to get these cams on the opposite side where it's not, you know, covering up anything. And here's the deal, you slide the blade forward. And when you do that, the indents in the blade, they lock. So now we have it together. You screw it on your head. Now to take it apart, this is where a lot of people, if they just get a hold of these blades or these heads, they kind of get confused and try to spin these rings. You're not going to be able to do that. What you have to do is just do it in reverse. You pull this down, 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 and then you rotate the cams and you pull it out, right? So that's the way you do it. Now, Wasp, as you can see on these blades, see how they're kind of stair-stepped? So this is where we're going to rotate our cam, and then when you push it, the step locks the blade in, okay? So that's how that works. It's pretty dang smart. But anyway, like I was saying, one of the big things is that over the years, they changed blade designs, a little bit bigger blades, a little bit smaller blades. And they actually have an advertisement that said, hey, all of our blades for the cam locks will fit each other. So this is a pack of replacement blades. It's the 718 right here. All right, stainless steel. And these are the blades. Now, these blades are significantly bigger. When I say bigger, they're taller than, you know, the original blades. So you end up with a larger cut. These blades are rated at 1 1/16. And these blades, when you insert this, are 1 5/16. So you get a substantially bigger cut. Now, lots of different, you know, we got carbon blades, stainless blades, smaller size, larger size. I don't know if you guys realize this, but I want to show you something real quick. This is a Wasp 6-blade, right? Holy moly. What kind of damage would that do? Now let's throw this on the scale and see what kind of weight we're talking about here. This is substantial. I don't care what anybody says. Drop it in. 149.3. So you're looking at 150 grains. All right. The blades are thin. They're a 0.0145. I think they may have listed them at 150. But when I measure these things with calipers, they're at 145 for the most part. Now, if that seemed ridiculous to you, take the same 6-blade head and put the larger blades. I want you to just look at this. Look at this. This is ridiculous, right? I'm talking about ridiculous. Look at that compared to the 3-blade, okay? Insane. When we get a weight on it, it should be right around this one is at 156. 156.2. Larger blade, a little bit more weight. So again, gonna weigh a little bit more. I would venture to say if you had, if your bow was pumping this thing out in the 230, 240, and you had a correctly spined arrow, this thing's going to weigh well into the 600 grains. That, I mean, in the ribs, I don't know what that would do to something. I mean, that is a massive 1 5/16 hole going through whatever. Now, you know, the blades are thin. I think that's, you know, something that Wasp even changed later on down the road. They went to 020 blades. I don't know what they're running now. Maybe 020 blades, but if you hit any kind of bone, you know, you're talking major effort to get that thing through there. It would probably just stop on a dime. I mean, I don't know. Maybe if you had a 600 grain arrow, it may not. But that's some devastation right there. You're talking about a whole blood trail, you know. So for people looking for a large cut, a total surface area, you know, you're probably well over 9 inches of surface area with that head. Might need to take a look at that if you can find them. They're pretty tough to find. I can't even find advertisements on these, but I just happened upon some. You know, got another ferrule over here, 6 blade. It's kind of crazy just to even look down. It's just all those blades. But anyway, Wasp Broadheads, Cam-Loks. They went on to go to what was the Series 3, and this is one of those. And I'll tell you something about Wasp. They have not been shy about running some big heavy heads. This head right here is a 3-blade head, and it's 140 grains. Well, actually, that's with this little insert on to hold it. So it should be running about 127. This was a Series 3, so this was probably in the mid 90s when this is coming out. And I know they made some of these Series 3 heads, Christ, up into the 150, 160, 170 grain range, you know, for your bigger stuff, elk, whatnot. But this was a time frame where speed's starting to come into play. A lot of companies are downsizing their heads. And, you know, I just don't think they could get anywhere in those kind of weight ranges, in the 125, 100 grain ranges with the Cam-Lok. And, you know, it just kind of went away. I'd hate to know the number of deer that have been killed. Well, deer, elk, anything that runs around that can be shot with a bow has probably been taken with a Wasp Cam-Lok. Favorite of many. And you can actually, you know, go on eBay and you can find these laying around, probably at a yard sale, who knows. If you want to try a little retro hunting, you know, they're probably as good, if not better, than a lot of the heads that are on the market today. You know, get you a little bit of, you know, a little bit more weight up front with these, man. You never know what you do. Definitely going through ribs with hogs, deer would be great. You know, turkey, hey, you might get a little bit better chance at turkey head or vitals with this big old joker. But anyway, all right, that's about it. I just want to go over these Wasp heads. If you guys have ever used Wasp, if you liked them, you hated them, you still got some, hey, throw a comment down below. Like, subscribe. I'm going to do a couple more of these. I've got a bunch of this old stuff from when I was growing up. I like the retro stuff. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.